Morning, morning, everybody. Welcome to Clickbait and Coffee. It is, I'm trying to get my laptop going. It's Friday. What is today? June 6th. I am smoking tired, and I am glad it's Friday. And honestly, I'm glad it's Friday, and then we get to rest this weekend and relax a little bit, hopefully. But we'll wind up doing a bunch of work, I would say. Good morning, Michael. Mike was the first one in here. So, guys, tell me what you have going this weekend, what big plans you've got and everything. I know Shelly is morning, Forrest. Forrest is in San Antonio. Forrest, what are you doing in San Antonio? That's a long way from Alabama. So, Chantel, good morning. Yeah, guys, tell me what y'all got going this morning. All that fun stuff. What you got plans for the weekend? I'm pretty sure Shelly's coming down tomorrow. We're going to dig a bunch of comfrey and get it on the website. So stay tuned for that. If y'all are wanting comfrey roots, should have comfrey roots on the website this weekend. I know I said we were going to have it a couple weeks ago, but it's just been hell and high water trying to get stuff done. So Saturday, we're going to dig it, probably get it on there Sunday, something like that. Forrest is taking a trip with his wife. So, are y'all going to do anything fun in San Antonio? I've never been to San Antonio. I've been to Dallas, Fort Worth. But Lord, I was 16 when we went down there. It's the last time I've been to Texas. So, Chantel is working on the inside of my tiny house. That sounds fun. Are you finishing the tiny house, or is it finished? Or are you just doing small little things to finish it up? So we're trying to get, for the festival, we're trying to get a shed company that does tiny houses to come. But all these guys, they're like, oh, yeah, that sounds like an awesome idea. We'd really like to do it. And then they kind of ghost you. And they're like, well, we're not going to do that. We've got something else planned or something like that. But I'll tell you, one of the festivals we had, a shed company come down, and they had a big shed outside, and they had a smaller demo unit inside. And man, people were super interested in that stuff, but they did not have a salesperson there all the time. I mean, like, they left some brochures out, and salespeople were like nowhere to be seen. And I'm thinking, man, y'all got all this stuff, and y'all got people here wanting to talk to you, and nobody's around. I'm like, that's just piss poor sales and marketing, in my opinion, but it is what it is. Michael, chores done, waiting for son. Oh, I hate the way they've done this new thing. Waiting for the son to stop in for breakfast on his way home to Montana. All right. Oh, let me see. Chantel says, small stuff, I bought mine. Okay. It doesn't seem like there's always small stuff to do. I mean, there's stuff to do around here at my house. Always stuff to do. I put up new outside lights last weekend or the weekend before. I don't know if I talked about that or not, but we put up new outside lights. So now my wife kids me that we can land airplanes in the front yard. And I'm like, but I like it freaking bright. I like it where you can turn the lights on and you can see everything that's going on around your house. It lights the whole side parking area of the house by the garage up. It lights the whole front yard up and everything, and you can see all kinds of stuff. So I guess I'm one of those weird people that wants lights everywhere. So Jennifer, our shepherds, good morning. How are you? So I can't wait. And hey, Jennifer is going to be on. Jennifer is going to be on with Shelly and I coming up later on this month. We've got starting Monday, we're going to be doing lives on Mondays and Thursdays with some of the speakers and some of the people that are going to be doing workshops at the festival. So I know Monday, Bear is going to be on with Shelly and I. I think Monday at 6:30 Central, we'll be live with him. So we've got every Monday and Thursday leading up to the festival, we're going to be live with somebody that's going to be speaking there, somebody that's going to be doing a festival. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be cool. There's going to be some awesome interviews coming out with that. And also, if you didn't catch, Monday, Brian and Susan Dudley with S&B Homestead Radio. We recorded a interview with them and put it on the channel. And then also yesterday, Chronically Healthy, we did an interview with them and put it on the channel. So go check those out. Brian and Susan are going to be there talking about ham radios and selling radio stuff. And then also Chronically Healthy is going to be back, and they're going to be talking about how to read food labels and the importance of looking at food labels. So that is going to be something awesome. I talked to Dylan yesterday about a couple things, and I'll talk a little bit more about that once we get into the thing. But all right, let's start it off. I will tell y'all I'll tell you that when we get a few more people in here, I'll tell you our Vacation Bible School story. So it was awesome. But guys, get festival tickets. This month in June, we're running a special. If you buy your festival tickets in the month of June, you're going to be entered to win the Refuge Medical class that they're doing. So that's a $200 class. So if you're planning on coming, get your tickets in June, and you're going to be registered to win that. If you buy 4 tickets, you've got 4 entries to win. So do that. Also, if you want to go ahead and sign up for the Refuge class, I think there's a couple 3 or 4 spots left in that class. Go to the website. And there's a red banner at the top of the screen. Hit it. It'll take you straight to Refuge's website where you can sign up for that class. So we've got first aid and medical stuff in stock still. It's going fairly quick, but there's still quite a bit of stuff in stock. So if you need some of that, get it ordered, and we'll get it shipped out to you. Probably, if you order it today, we'll probably get it shipped out tomorrow, I would say. So after this, I've got to run. The plumber's going to be over at the job we're working on today, getting the shower valves and all the shower fixtures put in, get the toilet put in, and then I'm waiting on the tub. We did a freestanding tub at this. So I'm waiting on the tub to get in, which I think it's supposed to be in the 18th. And then we're waiting on the vanity and countertops and all that stuff. So it's kind of a waiting game on that. But I've got to meet him. At, I don't know, I told him I'd be over there at like 9:15, something like that. So, but yeah, guys, what have y'all got planned for the weekend? Like I said, Shelly and I are going to dig some comfrey, and then unfortunately, I have to mow the yard. I hate mowing the yard. It sucks, but it's part of life. That, and I've still got trees. That I've got to cut up and everything that fell down in all the storms. Good morning, Bill. How are you this morning? I know Bill's probably been up for 4 or 5 hours already and got more work done by the time I start the show than what I'll do all day. So, but Bill, thanks for being in here. So, all right, I will tell you the Vacation Bible School story. We just got done last night with Vacation Bible School. My wife did headed up all the decorating for it. And yeah, Bill says that's what I've got to do is mow the yard. Man, I hate mowing the freaking yard. If there was one chore that I could just stop forever, if somebody said, hey, there's one thing that you never have to do ever again, it would be mow the yard and weed eat, because I absolutely despise it. It just absolutely sucks. I hate it. Chantel says, I need to mow, not sure if it'll get done. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things I hate doing, but I'm not going to pay somebody to come mow my yard. That's one of those things just not going to happen with me. So, but okay, Vacation Bible School. It started Sunday. Last night was our end of it, and my wife was in charge and Jennifer, yes, I am a general contractor. I do mostly kitchen and bathroom remodels is kind of the niche I've got into. So I do it mostly kitchen and bath stuff. We'll do an addition every now and then. I used to do a lot of concrete work and a lot of decorative concrete work. I don't do that near as much. I hate it. I got to the point I hated doing concrete work, but we'll still do epoxy work and acid stains. So honestly, there's real good money in doing that stuff. So I still do that sometimes, but mostly kitchen and bathroom work is what I like doing. But okay, Vacation Bible School ended last night. Thank goodness we weren't getting home until like 10:30 at night after we shut everything down and all that stuff. But I tell you the awesome story with some of the kids, because we teach Wednesday night. The first graders, my wife and I. Absolutely love it. The kids are awesome. And we had, they do some little question cards for some of the kids. And it's kind of got where you can circle some stuff. It's like, I would like to know more about becoming saved and salvation. I've got questions. I'm ready to be saved. And, just like 4 little things, and the kids can circle it. And then that way, some people can go and talk to them, privately if they've got questions. So one of the ladies that works at church, her son had circled that he's got a few more questions and would like to talk to somebody. So one of the other kids that's the same age as him had circled the same thing. So the parents went and asked me, they're like, Jason, can you go talk to the boys? And I'm like, sure. I was like, we had them last year or the year before in class, so the kids knew me. So I grabbed them and I was like, hey guys, come on. I was like, let's run over here and talk for a few minutes. And they looked at me and they're like, are we in trouble? And I was like, no, guys. I was like, remember, I'm the fun guy. I was like, y'all aren't in trouble. And they started laughing. They're like, yeah, Mr. Jason, you're the fun guy. It's like, let's go sit down. So I sat down, I was talking to them, and I showed them the cards. And I was like, the card said that y'all have had a few more questions, but you're ready to, be saved and get baptized and all this. And they're like, yeah, our parents have talked to us about this. We understand everything. And I said, well, what's your questions that you got? And they both looked at me and they said, we're super scared about getting baptized in front of everybody in church. In our church, typically we've got 3 services on Sunday, and usually there's probably like 200 people or better in each service. And so the kids were like, we're super scared about getting baptized in front of all the people at church. And I was like, is that the only thing you're worried about? And they're like, yeah, we don't want to stand up in front of everybody. And I was like, hey, I understand. I was like, I wouldn't want to do it either. And, I said, I don't like standing up in front of a bunch of people and talking and everybody looking at me. And I told them, I was like, well, what if we've got just your parents and your brothers and sisters and maybe your grandparents come and we do kind of like a little private baptism? And they're like, that's awesome. That's awesome. We can do that. And I was like, okay. I was like, any other questions? I said, if you have any questions, ask me now, and we can figure all this out. And they're like, no, that's the only question we had. That's what we were worried about. And I was like, cool. I was like, we'll get it set up. I said, I'll tell your parents and all that stuff. And then they told me, they said, Mr. Jason, can you and your wife and your son come to it? And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I said, you didn't want all these people to come to it. I was like, but you want me and my wife and my son to come? And they looked at me and smiled, and they go, you're different, though. We love you. You can come. And, man, I tell you what, freaking tears coming down my cheeks and everything else. And I'm getting teary-eyed right now, and I'm not a crier, but these kids broke me down. And I was like, guys, I said, I will 100% be there. I said, I don't care what's happening. 100% I will be there and watch y'all get baptized. And they're like, awesome. They gave me high fives, and they're like, can we go eat our snacks now? And I was like, yes. I was like, get out of here. Go eat your snacks. Have a good night. And we'll figure it out. And I'm just like, I came downstairs, teary-eyed, everything else. And my wife's like, what's wrong with you? She's like, you don't ever cry. And I was like, I just talked to the boys, and I told her, and she's like, that's sweet. And then I went and talked to the parents and told them everything. And both the moms were standing there. We're both all teary-eyed and everything. And it made my week, honestly. And those boys, after that, before they left for the night, they came and hugged me and talked to me, and they're like, we'll see you tomorrow. And I was like, awesome, guys. I was like, let's do this. And it just, honestly, that made my weekend, or made my week, and especially made my vacation Bible school. So that's my big story. That's the highlight of my week. I mean, I don't think anything else could top that. Even if somebody came in and said, hey, you won $1 million for doing this, I don't think that would top it. So I'm super excited about that. So, and I'll tell you another highlight of the week. We've got on Saturday, it'll be the 19th of the festival. That Saturday night, we're doing a charity dinner for Caleb House. And if y'all don't know what Caleb House is, the website is calebhouse.org. Bear, it's his restoration facility that he's building in Oklahoma, for the kids that they rescue from sex trafficking. It's a place where these kids can live as long as they need to and get rehabilitation. He's doing, all the buildings, the admin buildings, all that kind of stuff and everything. Chantel and Jennifer, thank you. It was sweet and it was awesome. I loved it. But they're building the restoration facility. They're going to have sheep out there, permaculture stuff. I know William Bond has been out there doing some permaculture stuff and everything out there, getting it set up. They're going to have orchards, all kinds of stuff for these awesome kids that need the rehabilitation and they need somebody to hug them and love on them. So he's building that. We're doing a charity dinner Saturday night. We're doing a charity dinner Saturday night to raise money for this organization. I have been freaking out about it, honestly. It's like we've got to get all kinds of stuff to sell, get some butts in seats and stuff. It's free to come to the auction. All you got to do is walk in, get your bid number, and sit down. We're going to have a food truck there. If you want to get food in there, come sit down and get your bid number. But I was freaking out about it. We've got a guy named Rylan. He is a auctioneer that specializes in charity and fundraising auctions. That's his business. So I talked to him yesterday. We sat down and had breakfast, and I was like, we were going over some of the stuff, some of the stuff we were going to do. And he told me some pointers and stuff like that. And I was like, hey, we're having trouble getting some stuff. He goes, with events like this, you don't need to sell items. He said, you need to sell experiences. And I was like, okay. So we brainstormed a little bit, and I came out of there and I was like, this guy just rocked my world. It's like, we need to sell the experiences. So I made a couple phone calls, and I'm going to give a big shout out to Andrew at Combat Art Training. Andrew does gun training and stuff like that. He lives down in Florida. He does some stuff with Tactical Response, does some stuff with Taprack Ridge over in Corbin. Morning, LP. How are you, buddy? But he does tactical weapons classes. So I called Andrew, told him what I was doing. He knew about Caleb House, knows about Bear, and I told him what I was doing. He was like, dude, he said, I've got a tactical class coming up in Corbin, Kentucky. It's called the Summit. I think that's what it's called, is the Summit. He said, I will give you a spot in the Summit to auction off. And he said, also, I'm going to give you another 2-day class wherever. Yes, Forrest, the Taste of the Bayou. Forrest is going to be there with his food truck all 3 days selling some good food. He was telling me everything he was going to sell. But, yeah, so Andrew said, I'll give you a spot in the Summit. I will give you a spot in one of my other 2-day classes, whichever 2-day class the people want to pick. And I said, Andrew, I appreciate that so much. It was like, man, I can't believe this guy's going to do that. I mean, he literally, it's probably $1,000 of spots he gave me, those 2 spots. And he said, I'll get on the horn and call some other people and touch base with them and see if they'll give you some spots. And I'm like, dude, I'd appreciate it so much. I said, whatever you can do. So I was on cloud 9 about that. Went back, started working. I got a text message from another guy, and he goes, I've got some training classes that we do. He said, I will donate a training class to y'all. He said, whether they want pistol or if they want rifle. I was like, awesome. I called him on the phone. We got everything set up. So right there, in the matter of literally an hour, I've got 3 classes that we can give, that we're going to auction off. 3 tactical gun classes we're going to do. And then it was like, I think 3:00 in the afternoon, I get a text, and it's kind of one of these, you get a lot of spam text and stuff. It's like, so-and-so at some email address. And I looked at it. I was like, I'll look at it in a second. So then I pulled it up when I got home, and it was the girls from Tactical Response, Kayla from Tactical Response down in Camden, Tennessee. James Yeager's training place that he started. So Kayla texted me, and I was like, hey, give me a call. So I gave her a call. She was like, I explained everything we were doing, or I told her a couple things we were doing. She was like, I want to donate a fighting pistol class. They can come and take fighting pistol. And I was like, awesome. So we were talking a little bit more, and she found out exactly what Caleb House was doing. And she goes, oh my gosh. She said, I didn't know they were doing all that stuff. She said, I'm going to give you another class. And I'm like, really? And she was like, yes. She said, I want to do whatever I can for this. And I'm like, that's amazing. I love you. You are an awesome person. So Kayla at Tactical Response is doing fighting pistol class and it's the immediate action medical class. So we're going to auction both those off. So right there in less than like 12 hours, we've got 5 classes that are awesome classes from well-known instructors that are amazing that we're going to be able to auction off. We're going to put, I'm looking for someone to donate some chest rigs because I want to rig out. I want to have chest rigs rigged out. And then if you go to this class, you're going to get a chest rig that's loaded out. Brian and Susan with S&B Homestead Radio, they're donating Baofeng radios. So my plan is to have the chest rig, have a radio with it, have empty magazines with it, a first aid kit, and probably I'm going to touch base with some people today and get like a tactical fighting knife to go in that. So if anybody can mess with anything or make any contacts, hey, get a hold of me. I will be more than happy to talk to these people and tell them what we're doing. But yes, Jennifer, praise the Father. I tell you, I was on cloud 9 about that. I came busting in and I told my wife, I was like, I have cracked the secret to this. The charity event is going to be awesome. I am super excited about it. And man, it's just like everything's falling in place. I'm like, it's great. Yes, Chantel, it is. That is great. I was so freaking excited about it. It's just like, boom, everything's falling in place. I got excited about it. I'm like, we're going to raise a ton of money because honestly, if nobody bids on it, I'm going to go. I want to buy the 5 classes and go to all these classes myself. So that's the update on the charity dinner. The charity auction. I keep calling it a charity dinner, but the charity auction is free to come to. All you got to do is get your bid number and bid on some stuff. And we're going to have a lot of smaller stuff too that people can bid on. So let me see. Michael Hamilton says that's the results of letting Jesus' light shine in you. Yes. And it's funny. People tell me, people don't approach me. My wife says I look like a grumpy, pissed off person all the time. So a lot of people don't just come up and talk to me and chit chat. But yes, I've talked to these kids. I love these kids and would do anything for these kids. But yeah, I like to be a good example, even though I'm one of these gruff, kind of mean-looking guys. These kids come up and give me hugs and everything else, and they holler at me. They're like, Mr. Jason, and they'll come running up and just give me a hug, and it absolutely thrills my heart when they do that, and I know that I'm setting a good example for them as well as I can. So I know Bill had something back here. Bill said, I got my bell pepper plants in the ground. We bought 18 pots and got 20 plants, 6 each, green, yellow, and red, plus 2 bonus plants. That's awesome. I've got to put some more stuff out this weekend. It's just we're running behind. So, and then Bill also says, that's a fabulous example of how you can pick your friends, but not your family. Making friends of young people is a gift that will pay off for generations. Yes, I absolutely love it because we've been doing it. I think this is our 3rd year of teaching the class. So we've had these kids that were in 1st grade and now they're 3rd grade going into 4th grade. And it's cool just to watch these kids grow up. And sometimes some of the kids don't think you're as cool as you were when they were in 1st grade, but they still know who you are and they still talk to you. And it's just still exciting to talk to these kids and be around them. I just absolutely love it. Good morning, Mike Shepard. How are you? So that is about all I've got as far as news and good news and all that. We can run in on some news articles. I looked at a couple things. I don't know. Let me pull this up if my laptop will work. All right. Dadgummit. Don't you just love technology? Shit. All right. Let me see. Okay. It pulled it up. All right. apparently, and I heard something about it. I listen to podcasts most of the time or some YouTube videos while I'm working. I heard something. Apparently, Trump and Elon. Thank you, Jennifer. I will. I hope you have a good day. And I can't wait to get you on the interview and get live with you and talk about all the dogs and awesome stuff you're doing. But, all right, apparently Elon Musk and Trump are fighting with each other. So everybody's going to say this is 5D chess and everybody else is playing checkers. You know, the same old bullshit that they've been saying for, what, 8 years now or something like that. That Trump's playing 5D chess and everybody else is playing checkers at Cracker Barrel or something. So apparently the thing is, Elon Musk claims that Trump is in the Epstein files, calls for his impeachment. And the president's comments is, we had a great relationship, don't know if we will anymore. So apparently, Elon's saying, hey, we need to expose this list because Trump's on it apparently, and we need to impeach him. And then Trump is going, well, I don't know why. We had a good relationship. It all kind of started with when Trump was the big, beautiful bill, the big, beautiful pork bill is really what it is. So Elon's kind of mad about that. So a riff kind of started with that. And some of the stuff, it's kind of funny. They're going back and forth on X and stuff like that. Like, Elon Musk said, time to drop the really big bomb. And then it says, at the real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. This is the reason they've not been made public. And they've been going at each other. Something Trump said that they're going to stop funding for like the tax credits for the electric vehicles and stuff like that. What were they saying? And talking about, should America seize SpaceX as Musk is threatening national security? It's all kind of stupid stuff. And then like Trump said, I don't mind Elon turning against me, but he should have done so months ago. This is one of the greatest bills ever presented to Congress. And they're fussing about, the big, beautiful bill and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, LP says Elon is acting like a child. Yeah. And then Bill, preschool sandbox behavior. Yeah, it's like they're fighting back and forth like two siblings, I can't believe you took my Hot Wheel. You took my Hot Wheel, so I'm just tearing the whole Lego building down, and just fighting back and forth. I've heard a couple different things. They're saying, of course, some of these people are saying, well, we know Trump's not on the Epstein list, and Elon is doing this and looking like he's turning on Trump. So then the Democrats will be like, we need the Epstein list put out. We need it put out so we can, get Trump out of office and just destroy Trump because he's on the Epstein list. And they say they're doing that whole reverse psychology and that kind of crap. I don't know. Honestly, I really don't give a damn if he's on the list or not. They're all, even though Trump seems like a good president and seems like he's going to help the American people, he's still got some skeletons in his closet. If he was on the Epstein list, I mean, that's going to shoot any credibility he has whatsoever on that. And then, of course, we don't know what this Epstein list is. Is it just a list of people that flew on the jet? So is it that people that visited the island or somebody that just flew on the jet from, New York to LA, something like that? So I don't know. I don't know what the list is made out of. Are there videos of all this stuff? Yeah, they say that there's videos and all this stuff, like thousands of hours of video. We need to see what's on that video. And then if Trump is not doing any of that stuff on video, then, hey, it's cool. And we can go on about our lives. But then all the people that are on that videos and on the videos have been doing this stuff, we need, pretty much heads on telephone poles. String them up out front, Do it on the White House lawn. What is it? What were the shackles or whatever they're called when they're hanging people? I mean, that's what the law calls for, that people, traitors to the country is death. So take them out back and hang them for all I care. Put it on, I mean, I've said it before, put it on pay-per-view, charge money for it, and we can put that on the national debt. We can pay the national debt down because, by God, I would pay a couple $100 to see that. And Forrest says, I think it's tricky. They're gaslighting to get the list out. That's what a lot of people are saying. I don't know if that's true or not. Who knows? And then Michael says, both men are poor examples for our children. If this thing blows up, Hearing Protection Act, I'm going to be upset. Yeah. Honestly, they are bad examples. There's not many people in government and not many people that are in the limelight that are good examples for our kids. Honestly, I think it goes back. Too many people put, quote, celebrities and politicians on a pedestal, and it's like I mean, especially all these celebrities, the kids look at them and they're like, I want to be just like this, or I want to be just like this ball player. Most of those ball players are just trash and just pieces of shit on stuff they do. I mean, don't let your kids idolize these people. Don't give them examples. Maybe you need to take, instead of, I don't know what, LeBron James, instead of, letting your kid watch LeBron James and all that stuff, why don't you let him talk to one of the older people in church, one of the deacons in church, or one of the trustees in church that, is a 60-year-old guy that's been coming to that church for, I don't know, 40 years and knows every part of that church and knows who's sick at church and stuff like that. Let your kid talk to that person and he can be a role model instead of, some stinking celebrity. Yeah, you won't be able to pull up on the computer what this guy did today and all his tweets and his videos and everything, but you can call that guy's cell phone number and let your son or your daughter talk to that person if they've got some questions or something like that. Yeah, Michael, mentoring. Exactly. Well, I'll tell you tonight, that's a perfect example. As tired as I am and everything tonight, our Sunday school teacher, Dennis, and his wife, Rhonda, I absolutely love them. They're the ones that I took. We took 3 gallons of Baskin Robbins ice cream to and surprised them with that. We were talking to Rhonda Wednesday night. She came through at Vacation Bible School. We were talking to her, and she said something. She's like, I'm going home and I'm going to have dessert. She's like, I made fudge cake or fudge pie or something like that. And I was like, ooh, I'm coming over. And I was like, but it'll be late when I get out of here. And she just laughed, and she's like, y'all can come over Friday if you want to. And my wife goes, there might not be any cake or pie left by then. And I was like, Rhonda can just fix more. I was like, she can do that. And the typical mom answer is, she was like, I've got time. She was like, I can make some more if y'all want to come over. And my wife is like, don't be asking and inviting yourself to come over to people's houses. And Rhonda's like, it's okay. She's like, I'll make more for y'all. So tonight we're going over there. Going to hang out, have fudge cake or fudge pie and ice cream, and just hang out with them and just fellowship, talk to them. They absolutely love my youngest son. They would do anything for him. Dennis brings him candy and stuff all the time. Dennis will find something for my youngest son and call and be like, hey, I'm coming by. Are y'all home? I've got something for your son. And I'm like, yeah, we're here. So he stops in, hangs out 15, 20 minutes, talks to us, gives my youngest son his little gift that he picked up, and just absolutely, my son talks about him all the time. He's like, well, what's Mr. Dennis doing? And just talks about that. It's having those role models, and we went down a rabbit hole for sure, but it's having those role models that your kids can look up to instead of a bunch of crappy people that really don't need to be role models for anything. So we'll get off the soapbox. But yes, Donald Trump and Elon Musk are fighting. It seems like petty stuff, whether it's the 5D chest or whatever. I don't know. Honestly, I don't really care. I'm going to go work today and make some money. I'm going to work on the charity dinner. I'm going to work on festival stuff because that is stuff that I can control in my area. So, I mean, if Elon Musk and Trump go at each other on Twitter or X or whatever it is and want to get in a pissing match, we've still got to get plumbing done on this job. I've still got to get festival stuff done. It doesn't really matter if they get mad at each other, in my opinion. Honestly, if Trump's on the list, I'm going to go on about my day. Tomorrow, I'm still going to dig comfrey with Shelly. So it doesn't really matter to me. So, but saying that, I don't know, maybe in the big picture it matters somewhat, but day-to-day operations of myself, it's not really going to matter. I'm still going to go eat fudge cake or fudge pie and ice cream. So that's my plans. All right. The other thing, and let me see. Let's see where it is at. Okay. All right. Apparently a few days ago, yes, Michael, life goes on. They can do stupid shit in Washington all the time, but you've got to take care of what's in your area and that. Do that, and you'll be a hell of a lot better person. Check on, instead of sitting on Twitter and seeing what Trump and Elon are doing, why don't you stop by your neighbor's house and talk to them, see how they're doing. You know, their life is more important, and if they need something, is more important than what they're saying on X. So stop in and do that. Hell, call your mom and dad, for God's sakes, and talk to your parents for a little while. Do that. Talk to somebody at church. Call an old friend. I mean, maybe they need to talk to somebody. So do that. Talk to the people around you. Kind of disconnect and be like, I don't really care what they're doing. So talk to the people that are around you. And Bill, that's me, Jason. I have work to do on the farm. I don't have time for these smokescreen petty arguments that no consequences in day-to-day life. Exactly. I mean, it's like people are just glued to the phone, and it's like, oh, Elon tweeted this, and then Trump tweeted this, and this and that. And it's like, damn, guys, I've got shit to do besides that. I mean, I will throw on a YouTube video or a podcast and listen to that while I'm going, but I'm not constantly just on my phone looking at this. If I'm constantly on my phone or my laptop, it's doing stuff for the business, doing stuff for the festival, and doing stuff for this charity dinner. That is stuff that matters. So one of the biggest things that matters is raising as much money as we can for Caleb House so they can do so much more with these kids that they're rescuing. That's what matters in my life. What matters with Trump and Elon doesn't matter shit. But if we can raise a bunch of money for these kids, hey, that is going to make my day, going to make me happy, and it's going to help so many people. So, yeah, Michael, flip phones are awesome. Man, I tell you what, I wish I could. Yeah, I did have a flip phone. I wished I could go back to a flip phone or one of those freaking old Nokia deals would be awesome. Give me just a minute. My plumber is texting me. All right. Had to make sure. That's the bad thing about plumbers. My plumber, he used to be the music director at our church. Super nice guy. His dad started a plumbing business years ago, and he does mostly service work. He'll do drain cleanings, replace hot water heaters, stuff like that. Stuff like that for people. So it's more of the service work, not remodeling and stuff like that. I love him. Awesome guy. But when you get service calls and emergency work and stuff like that, it's always like he can be doing something for me, and somebody will call with an emergency, and he'll finish up, get to a stopping point on mine. He's like, I've got to run, do this. I'll be back in like 2 hours. So he just now texted me, everything's fine. He's going to be there at like 9:15, something like that. So I'm like, awesome. Nothing came up. So, and Bill says, I have planted enough onions, sweet potatoes, and bell peppers to last us a year. That's important day to day. Exactly. What's going on right here? That is what is important day to day. What's going on your farm, in your world, and the people that you talk to every day is what's important. So I still have an LG flip phone active. Awesome, Bill. I don't think I've seen a flip phone, and I don't know when. The last one I had was those Nokias that you could do whatever you wanted to with. I think those Nokias would survive a nuclear blast, and you could still play Snake on those things. So, all right. Apparently, a couple days ago, Ukraine hit a bunch of Russian targets. And let me scroll and see what they hit. Yes, this is Ukraine blew up railway bridges in Russia last week, and that derailed civilian and freight trains and killed at least 7 and injured over 120 people. Kiev also launched a coordinated drone strike on multiple Russian air bases. They were targeting their long-range nuclear bombers that they were up in North and Far East Russia. And then Moscow claimed that most of the drones were intercepted and the aircraft targeted were damaged but not destroyed. And then, of course, I don't think Ukraine can do all this stuff without a lot of European and quote NATO help. So I think NATO is doing a lot of stuff. And of course, I've said before, NATO is wanting war. The European countries are wanting war, and they're wanting to keep this war going on with Russia. Whether it's for money or for what it's for, but they just want to keep going and going and going and keeping this war going. So then, let me see. Over the past week, attacks. Okay, so Putin and the Russians retaliated. They did it. It was this morning. This morning for us, last night for them. And this says the Russian military has said its forces carried out large-scale overnight strikes against Ukraine defense industry sites using drones and long-range precision-guided weapons. So they were hitting. They used air, sea, and land-based missiles as well as UAVs in a response to Russians calling it a terrorist attack is what they're calling it of what Ukraine did. So. And what they were looking at, they were hitting, where is it? They were hitting defense industry stuff, military airfields, production, storage, and launch site of drones, armed depots, as well as deployment points of Ukraine military. So it seems like the Ukraine and Russian stuff is kind of heating up a little bit more. Honestly, I don't know what they're going to do, whether there's going to be peace there or not. It would be nice if they would just stop it. And it's the big thing, the two big things that are driving it is the warmongers are wanting war. They keep doing that. They keep feeding Ukraine intelligence, and they keep feeding them weapons and money so they can keep this growing. Ukraine, if Ukraine was standing alone, they would never defeat Russia. Russia could have just went in there and bulldozed their butt in a month, probably, if not less. So the European countries keep giving them money and weapons and all this kind of stuff just to prolong the war. And then also what keeps the war going is Ukraine wants to be part of NATO, and Putin has always said that he did not want Ukraine to become part of NATO. That was a red line that he had drawn. And then, of course, people are saying, well, since Ukraine did this attack and everything, this big attack inside Russia, now Putin's going to do a tactical nuke, and there's a tactical nuke on the table. And if a tactical nuke gets open, then everybody's going to start using tactical nukes, and the world's just going to go to hell. I mean, honestly, I don't know. And then Forrest, Forrest, I missed that. Motorola Razr. Yes, those Motorola Razrs were awesome. It'd be cool if they brought those things back. But I don't know what's going to happen with that. Honestly, I've got other stuff to worry about. I just kind of keep an eye on it and want to keep y'all abreast in it. So y'all can be on the lookout for that if y'all want to dive deep. I was getting all this from RT. Of course, that's Russian. I think it's Russian Times. It's all Russian-based stuff. So take that as it is. Everything is propaganda, whether it's from the left or the right or a foreign place. Anything you see on the news, big mainstream news, is all just propaganda from one side or the other. And then Forrest said the tornadoes in Kentucky this year were in retaliation to BG. Yeah. Where were they in relation to Bowling Green? We had, I think there was a small tornado in Paducah, maybe, which that's the far western part of the state. And then there was a tornado in northern Kentucky, I think last Friday, like a week ago. It was just a small tornado that just hit. I think it killed one or two people and did quite a bit of damage. That was up in northern Kentucky. I think it was Washington County. And then the big tornado that came through like I think it was like 3 weeks ago, something like that. That big tornado that came through was in London, Kentucky, which that is about an hour and a half to 2 hours east of Bowling Green. So they're still over there cleaning up. I talked to the guys at Grindstone. Kyle is the executive director of Grindstone Ministries. I talked to him the other day. They were headed back Wednesday. Yeah, it was Wednesday. Wednesday, they were headed back. Kyle texted me early in the morning. He was like, hey, we're like 45 minutes or an hour from Bowling Green. He's like, where's a good place to eat breakfast? So I got a good place for him to eat breakfast right off the interstate because they were all in trucks and trailers hauling equipment back. And there's an awesome little place right by the interstate that has plenty of parking. So I told him that I was going to try to get over there and eat breakfast with him, but I had something else that I had committed to and couldn't get there in time. But yeah, Grindstone is done over there. I think Grindstone was over there for about I know 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks they were over there. So they pretty much got their stuff done. But London seems like it's on the mend. They're coming back, getting everything cleaned up, and they'll probably rebuild pretty soon. But there's still a lot of stuff. If somebody wants to go over there and help, they can go over there and help and donate. I think probably the best thing to do, Grindstone is out of there now, probably Ryan Hall. I mean, all of you know who Ryan Hall is. He's got his 501c3. I know they were over there handing stuff out and giving supplies away and everything. So, but guys, that's about all I've got. I have to move the sheep across the road to the neighbor's place before I go, and then I've got to meet the plumber at like 9:15. So it's going to be nothing but asses and elbows to get over there and get everything done. But guys, I appreciate it. Also, don't forget we've got those 2 interviews up on our YouTube channel. We've got Brian and Susan with S&B Homestead Radio, and we've also got Chronically Healthy that is on there. Those were pre-recorded. But then starting Monday, every Monday and Thursday, we're going to be live. We're going to be live with speakers and people that are doing workshops for the festival. Those are going to be at 6:30 or 7 Central Time. Monday we'll be on with Bear. He'll be here at 6:30 Central Time, being live with him. And then don't forget about the charity auction that we're going to have Saturday night of the festival for Caleb House. And then Bill, speaking of donations, I have a friend in Idaho who needs some help with funeral expenses. Bill, have you set up a GoFundMe? Honestly, I don't know how to do that or anything like that. But Bill, if you want to shoot me an email, maybe we can figure, okay. Idaho Hillbilly has a GoFundMe link if you feel so inclined. Bill, can you send me the link and stuff in an email, and then I'll post it. If you'll send me a link to that, I will post it on the community page on YouTube. And then anybody else that's got a YouTube channel, stick that up on there, because, I mean, I don't know them, but I would like to help them. Bill's in here all the time. And if Bill says it's one of his friends, he's probably a pretty good guy. So, but Bill, email me and send me that, and I'll post it up on YouTube here in just a little while. But guys, I'm going to go move animals and meet the plumber. Y'all have a good weekend. I appreciate all of you being in here. If you need anything, go to the website. We've got our first aid stuff there ready to ship out, and get your festival tickets. And also remember, if you get your festival tickets in June, you're registered to win one of the Refuge Medical classes. So, all right, guys, I appreciate it. And I will see y'all. Actually, I'll see y'all Monday night on the live with Bear. And then I'll see y'all Tuesday morning right here for Clickbait and Coffee. Guys, y'all have a good weekend. Be safe. Bye.